Hey everybody, how's it going? Rob Bailey here. I apologize for the slight delay. GoToWebinar has been a challenge past 2 days, and I want to blame it on Amazon. I don't know what else it could be. Seems like nothing is working as of that outage with Amazon. So, hey guys, what's up, Jet? Roger Weaver is in the house. Rabiha is in the house as well. Welcome. Rafael, yes, I'm back in San Diego. I'm recovering from jet lag, Rafael. Um, yeah, so welcome, guys. I tell me how my audio is. Can you guys hear me okay? Does it sound okay? Just give me a yes. Good. Okay. Thank you. So guys, here's the deal with today. Okay. Yesterday was kind of a frustrating day, I think, for anybody out of online business because, like, I don't know if I mean people were saying half the sites were down on the internet, or half the image hosting, or half the file hosting, et cetera, et cetera. Um, like this is a good lesson. Like, a lot of our clients, for example, when stuff like this happens, like back when I used to run my SEO agency, um, they'd be like, "Oh my gosh, Google's making this, huge change. What are you guys gonna do about it and stuff?" And like, this is part of technology. I mean, people forget that um, before the internet, like you couldn't operate your brick and mortar business without somebody physically there at all hours, right? So we get spoiled by that, right? Um, we so when this stuff happens, I just take a way step back and just because like I'm 38, I grew up without the internet, right? So this mindset thing of like, oh my God, we lost. Oh, how much revenue did we lose? How much of this did we lose? Blah 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 blah. It's like, look, man, everybody else did too. Like the sky's not falling. There's no Chicken Little. So I mean, a lot of people were freaking out yesterday. I actually had a pretty good day yesterday because guys, the core of all of our businesses is an analog. It's us. It's you and me. It's like our clients, serving them to the best of their ability. There's always things to do for our clients or with our clients. So it's just not that big of a deal. I mean, Amazon's going to have it right back up, right? So, for example, if this webinar would never have happened, um, I would have just said, guys, GoToWebinar's not working. It's probably because of Amazon. I don't know for sure, but that seems to be why. And we'll reschedule it for later. It's not. It's kind of out of my control. And that's like fair, right? That's logical and fair and all that stuff. So it's a good business lesson because when things go wrong, and it's in our business it's not that often, but they do happen still. I mean, I've seen this with ClickFunnels. I've seen it with Google AdWords, with Google Organic Search, like with everything, lead pages. I mean, it happens, guys. So I think it's really important as an entrepreneur to take a snapshot of your self-awareness when things like this happen and try not to like pour gas on that fire when it happens, right? Like, did you guys see Tony Robbins freaking out yesterday? Did you see Gary Vaynerchuk freaking out yesterday? Did you see, I mean, pick your guru. Did Russell Brunson freak out when ClickFunnels went down for a couple days? Not publicly. Like it's it is very, very, very concerning for a short period of time, yes, but like everything's working for me today. Things are a little wonky, but that was less than 24 hours. That's not terrible. So, anyways, I'm glad you guys are here. I just wanted to give you a little bit of a quick pep talk there because a lot of people in the community are just sort of freaking out, and I think it's just a little bit of a knee-jerk reaction or an overreaction, if you will. And I think as entrepreneurs, especially when you're in charge of client accounts, um, you have to be the one who's cool and level-headed and to provide that stableness that they're looking for. Because when a client reaches out and says something crazy to you like that, it's because they're freaking out. They think the sky is falling, and you just got to be that rock for them a little bit and say, And, you know, it happens. I've seen it before and it'll happen again, but it's not that big of a deal. It'll get fixed soon, right? So the short term solution is this, and long term, it's probably going to be fine. And a lot of times I go, oh, okay. But if you're like, oh, I know it's ridiculous, I can't understand it, blah, 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 then like all of a sudden it's this rabbit hole that nobody can get out of, right? So Chet Bruce says in '96, my dial-up internet service lost its phone line, and it took the phone company 5 days to get it back up. So one day down is no big deal. Yeah, exactly. I mean, especially when you consider the analog days. Like us without internet or working websites for a week is like that's like oh my god, right? So yeah. So here's the deal today, guys. I have an agenda, but the first part of that agenda is actually answering your guys' questions. So I've got an hour set aside for Q&A, and so you guys can just start punching in your questions in the chat box or the questions box, and and yeah. So Roger Weaver says it's still a bit disconcerting to have AWS down, dude. I hear you, but you know, Amazon is like one of the top companies in the world. I mean, they're working on it, I promise. So um, there's things that you can do. I'll give you guys an example. Let me bring something up that I think you guys might enjoy about clients, right? Um, this will take a second, but this is something that you can do when you have downtime to serve your clients. Um, are you guys are you guys a fan of Gary Vaynerchuk? Type one or yes, if so, and zero or no, if not. Or if you don't know who he is. If you've read some of his stuff or you're a fan, let me know. 111. Okay. Jamil is, David is, Roger, Betsy says yes. Of course you are, Betsy. Guys, at my place of business, and place has quotes around it because it's no longer a physical place of business as much as it is a community of rad people. What's up, Joe Rizzo? Joe Rizzo's in the house. Man, you guys want to talk about someone with pretty incredible track record and unlimited potential? Joe Rizzo. Frank says 111. Heck yes. Mona says 1. Greg S says 1. Okay. So let me show you guys something. I'm going to pull this up in my email. So I'm going to try to keep the sensitive information out because this is what I want to do in these calls, right? I want to show you guys as much as I can without like compromising our client information and security, obviously. So one sec. Hang on. So as many of you know, okay, this is a good one. As many of you know, Gary's very, very big on the thank you economy and providing massive value to win in the marketplace. Okay. So, guys, this is one of my clients. Here's a quick caveat. One of our clients, I should say. And so don't attempt to poach them, especially after this. They freaking love us forever. And just respect the game, right? Like there's a wide open ocean of other gyms out there, but this is one of our gym clients, our real gym clients that we've been serving very well for about 6 months, I want to say. If that's right, Betsy. And maybe you can just let me know if that's accurate. I think it is about 6 months. So guys, when things are down like this, we didn't do this for this reason. I actually saw a post from our client on Facebook that said that their beloved dog died, and this dog was like, or I'm sorry, the dog was ill, like gravely ill, and one of the owner of this gym, Brett and Kira are a team, a husband and wife team. They basically put out like a post on Facebook that said, "Pray for her. Like she's not doing well. We don't know what's going to happen, but like the vet is concerned. So if you guys can give her an extra like pet or a kiss or whatever when you come to the gym, like we would love that. So, we make a point to connect a little bit more personal than maybe the average, client vendor relationship for exactly these reasons. Like everybody in our team is a dog lover, I think, except for maybe one person. No, I think everybody's a dog lover. So we saw this, and I have two dogs, and Betsy's got a dog. She wrote a blog post about her dog and all this stuff, and how, um, on her personal site about how important that dog was to sort of like, being a parent and everything. I hope it's okay that I said that, Betsy. But so we're just bona fide dog lovers. Period. It's not that big of a stretch. Like it's totally true and transparent. Not that big of a stretch for a client of ours to believe. And what we did was when we found this out, I just said, hey team, what can we do to just maybe like lift them up a little bit and let them know that we care, right? And this doesn't have to do with the AWS downtime per se, but these are great things you can do for your clients and or prospects if all you're left with is like Facebook profile or analog, like picking up the phone or like, texting them or, whatever the communication is to improve your business is like you improve the relationship with them, right? So this is kind of something that's intangible, right? So we just said, look, we're going to send a $50 donation to the local San Diego pit bull like shelter, right? Um, because their dog that died was a pit bull, and apparently she was super sweet. I mean, we read the comments on her post and everything, and it was like, oh my god, like bawl your eyes out, sweet. So the dog had obviously made a lot of connections with the members at their gym and everything. It was like a part of that business when people came in, they looked for the dog. So we just made a donation for $50 to this local pit bull shelter. They specialize in pit bulls. Their dog's name is Hootie, and so we said, we're gonna donate it in Hootie's name to you, and we just want to reach out and tell you that, like, we're thinking about you during this difficult time. And then we signed it, Rob, Jess, and Betsy and Jesse, right? So that's like our tiny team. It's like probably insignificant in the big scope of things. But guys, think about this. Does a Yellow Pages salesman do stuff like that? Right? Does the Yellow Pages salesman like take the time to go do things like this when they see them and treat them like a real person? I mean, seriously, like we're directly contributing to the well-being of this person's business with our service, right? Like one to one, we don't have that many clients. We don't have hundreds or even thousands of clients. It's like in the dozens. That's it. It's not that many. So, and this wasn't a ingenuine or disingenuous either, right? Like we care. It was like sad to read that. So we're like, oh man, we know how that feels, or we can be empathetic to how that feels. So we just want to like send something to know that we're like giving them a nod. So this was the response. Thank you so much for your kind card and donation in Hootie's name. It was really sweet of you to think of us. So it's such a loved dog, and everyone at the club misses her. Thanks again. And I just said, happy to. Our team is full of dog lovers. We know how tough it is to lose a family member. Hopefully the new pup is keeping Hootie's spirit alive and well. And they ended up getting a new pit bull puppy that looks almost like their old dog. Or not their old dog, but exactly like Hootie. I don't want to say old dog. It's probably too soon for that, right? But they got a puppy that looks just like Hootie, and being non-judgmental, that's probably the way that they are dealing with it best. Like it was like their child. So we're just like, here, like it's something cool we can do that isn't condescending in any way. It's not like a direct ploy to be a certain way to our client because we're just buttering them up. It was just a cool thing to do. And both he and her wrote back and like, guys, these people are not like high communicators with us. They're kind of like they just pay their bill and then they're done, right? Like they don't talk to us a ton. This is the most communication we've gotten from them in a little while. So the language that they speak is this language, right? So I just wanted to share that with you guys. And this could cement a relationship for months or years, right? So you know, Joe Rizzo says too kind, my man. Yeah, like it kind of is on one hand, but on the other hand, it's just like, you know, it's kind of the right thing to do, number one. Number two, probably means the world to them. And number three, it felt good for us to do that anyway. Even if we got no response, we'd just be like, okay, well, you know, that's I wouldn't have taken it personally at all. I just think like if my dog died and someone sent us something cool like that, especially to help other dogs like that, it would just be a nice gesture, and that goes a long way, right? Something to show them that we are different. So, um, yeah. So Betsy said, totally fine. Plug Legos in my Louis. So Betsy has a blog, a mom blog called Legos in My Louis, meaning Legos like the toy, and my Louis like Louis Vuitton bag. It's called Legos in My Louis, and she wrote a post all of, like to her dog who's aging and will probably pass away soon, about how the dog influenced her life and influenced her as a mother. So, so check that out if you guys can. Like that's the kind of stuff that hits at the heart and the core of why people do stuff, right? So this isn't meant to be like a super touchy feely kind of thing, but this is an extreme of like, I mean, this client's been with us for like 7 or 8 months. So um, there's tons you guys can do without having the internet active. That's my point, right? Like that was something that happened yesterday, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like people are so knee jerk reacting like it's the end of the world. It was like Y2K. It reminded me of the Y2K thing, right? So, with that said, and Garrick Mizuno says not familiar with him. Garrick, go check out Gary Vaynerchuk. Look at Thank You Economy, right? Um, that's the specific book that he wrote. That oh, did I click on that? Okay, that's the specific one he wrote that talks about why this is, you know, such a powerful thing in today's business age. So he's written a few books. He's got a great YouTube channel. He's crushing it right now. He'll probably be a billionaire. This guy, no shit. So check it out. That's the one I recommend reading. But look into Gary Vee online if you're, you know, if you want to figure out who he is beforehand. Um, yep, Jab, Right Hook is a phenomenal book about social media and all that good, like, you know, why the economy of today is based on giving first and asking second. That's the whole strategy that I teach you guys in the sales demo, right? Is to give them something of value first and then ask for something. Most douchebags go in with guns a-blazing, going like, "What's up, hot chick at the bar? Want to go home with me?" And that's the Yellow Pages salesman. And when you guys go in, you're like, "Hey, there's something here that works. Would you like for me to show it to you?" Right? Which at the bar is the equivalent of like, "Hey, I think we might be a good fit for each other. Would you like to go out to dinner and try?" Which, I mean, the girl has the total right to say no when you're at the bar like this, or reverse the roles for you, right? Um, but it's just a much more like people are used to being approached more when someone wants something from them, right? That's what that whole book is all about. Jab, right hook. So, Garrick, I get all of them if you haven't heard of them yet. So, guys, tell me, start giving me some questions. Why don't you guys start punching in questions, because that's what most of this is dedicated for. I got that question a ton yesterday, like, what the heck do I do? Nothing's working. So I just want to address that elephant in the room. Um, Anna says, I read the Jab book because of you. Rad. Tell me what you thought of it, Anna. Let me know. What'd you learn? Um, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys something that I have prepared at the end, okay? So I want to make sure there's time to answer Q&A, but I have an announcement. Actually, I have two announcements to make at the end. So let me know what kind of problems, issues you're running into, what kind of roadblocks you're facing, what questions you have. It could be about anything. Sales, Facebook ads, positioning. Yeah, Anna just said it was amazing. It's a great book. It really allows you to step outside yourself and realize what kind of things work in a social setting, especially, um, and how to do it in a business setting, right? He gives you tons of examples. Joel Pryor says, how apart should you keep your clients city-wise? Well, Joel, the client that I just talked about is only 7 miles away from my gym, and I've got them both as clients, and they don't mind. So I would say 5 miles just to be safe. But even if it's like different enough, like I would totally take on a yoga client right next door to a general gym because the services are different. So determine it by services. If it's the same offering, I'll go like 5 miles. If it's not the same offering, you can go as close as you want. Does that help? Does that make sense? Garrick says, keep losing sound. Is it only me? Is anybody else having trouble with sound? Or is it clear? Okay, everybody else says it's good. So Garrick, maybe just go ahead and watch the replay, and it should be recording fine. That happens to me too when I'm on other webinars. Like mine goes out, but then I listen back to the recording and it's perfect. So just maybe hit the replay. Cool. What else, guys? Let's see. Or yeah, Chet says maybe if you log out, Garrick, and relog in, it gives you like a new connection. That could help. So try that. David says, how important is population? Should we only look at larger cities, say above 200K? You know what's funny about that, David, is I've had instances where that holds true. And then I have instances, and I know several other people who've had the instance where it's like a smaller area that's underserved, and their ad just goes nuts because there's like no competition, no one else is serving that market with that product, etc. Right? So does that make sense? I think you just have to try. It totally depends. Like if there's a ton of competition, it's a small area and it's saturated. Yeah, it should be. It's going to be tough. If you're in San Diego and you're doing fitness, I mean, there's so many people here who are into fitness. Is the competition high? Yes, but there's also a ton of people who want to do it. So you just have to take a look at the industry at large in the local area. So go to Groupon, look at somewhere like where fitness is huge in like Miami or San Diego. Look at how many Groupon offers are in those markets for fitness, and then go to the market that you want to serve and see what the relative difference is. Meaning, like in San Diego, I think there's like 1 million people population or 2 million, something like that. I think it's 1 million near the metro and then 2 million in the county. But if you go to a city that's at 100,000, then you should see a tenth of the competitors there to keep that same sort of opportunity. Does that make sense, David? So it's a tough question to answer, but it depends on the service. You know, if there's like 100 dentists in a town of 100,000 people, it's one dentist per every 1,000 people. So going to be probably a pretty tough gig. If there's 10, might be pretty awesome. Make sense? Vita says sometimes logging them back in works. Yep. Roger says, Roger has a good one. Have a sculptor who wants to promote his ability to create cement molded reliefs for house decorations. Should we create a website, use Facebook, Instagram? I don't know, Roger. I've never heard about that one before. Yeah, so David Abrams, you should just test it, man. Just test it and see. Just do a trial for them maybe if you're unsure, and check it out. See how the market responds. I don't know about the sculpture thing. So I think you're asking Roger Weaver about someone who sculpts for a living, like an artist. Cement molded reliefs for house decorations. It sounds like a very niche product, and I would question what the demand is in the area for something like that. Um, try going to, geez, that's a tough one, man. It seems like such a specialty item. Maybe go to like Etsy. That's probably the best place to look for that, Roger. Go to Etsy and look for cement molded reliefs. I've never heard that term before, but if that's not a typo and that's what you're talking about, see what kind of demand there is out there, right? And then also see if people are buying it nationally or locally. Because if this person can make those things nationally, that could be interesting. But if there's like three people in town who are interested in this stuff and you can only do it locally, it might be a stinker. My sense is there's lower hanging fruit. That's my bottom line answer, Roger. Um, Roger says he only needs a couple to prove it. Etsy. We live near Bethesda and Potomac. Okay, so if you're in Maryland, that's Maryland, right? Um, okay. So can he? But is he making them for local people, Roger? Let me know, man. We can come back to that one. Just give me more information. Tell me who he's serving, whether they're local or national, what the demand is, how successful he's been on Etsy, and what his price point is. You can figure it out. Stephen Oaks says, I have talked to a contractor that is interested in looking for outdoor living areas. Yep, that's a high ticket thing like pergolas, outdoor kitchens, fountains. High profit and about to come into season. Any ideas on how to target the audience? Well, yeah, that's pretty easy. So, Stephen, you know that there's I don't want to assume anything. Do you know that there's a targeting um, interest in Facebook for homeowners, right? So you can easily target homeowners in Facebook in a certain area. And if this contractor works within a radius that's probably pretty wide, like 30 miles or 60 miles or 100 miles, I mean, if they'll travel for like $100,000 backyard with a pergola, outdoor kitchen, and fountain, I'm they'd probably travel 60 miles, something like that, to do that. I would guess, right? So if you want to serve those areas, what you can do is just say 60-mile radius, but only homeowners and only a certain amount of income, right? So you want to make sure these people can afford it. You don't want to target lower income areas that would never even consider doing a pergola because the pergola costs more than their house or something. So you just want to type in the affluent zip codes or the affluent communities, which you can totally do in the ad tool. Um, you could do really well with that one. The content is going to matter a lot on that one, Steve, because here's the thing. So remember in the training, right? The training says that the no-brainer things that require low education, that are lower ticket, but that everybody needs are the ones that do the best. Like everybody needs the dentist, right? Everybody knows it's like $100 to go to the dentist. So when they see a deal for $20, they immediately go, "Yeah, I've been putting off going to the dentist. Yeah, I should do that." Right? Same thing for the gym. Yeah, no, I should go to the gym. That's a pretty good offer. I guess I should do that. With a backyard, it's like, oh crap, that sounds expensive. I don't know if I'm ready for that. Do I need to pull out a second mortgage? Blah, 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 blah. So, Steve, you have to really have compelling content, right? And they need to be willing to invest thousands of dollars probably to get, a legitimate prospect who can afford that thing. But the payout is 50 grand to 100 grand probably. So, if they're good with that, they need to be willing to spend more. Like, so we're getting $5 leads for our gym. They might need to spend hundreds or even thousands to get a lead for a project that size. Does that make sense, Steven? So that'd be on the hard, medium to hard level of the scale. Greg S says, "Have you ever done FB lead gen for orthodontists, specifically for new braces for children?" Um, I've not done that. No, we have done Invisalign, which works really well. Um, but orthodontists are a good target because a lot of kids, I would say like the majority of kids grow up with crooked teeth. I mean, I did. I now have a pretty good smile, but I had to get braces twice to get it. So there's definitely a market for it. Greg S., your best bet is to go to Groupon and pop in orthodontist or braces or Invisalign and see what's working for kids, right? And then you're asking about the offer, funnel, et cetera, the whole kit and caboodle. Well, it all starts there, right? The framework that we give you is there. You just have to start with doing your research. So, Greg, if you've done the research, type in what you found. But our system, teaches you how to research anything. So you could go in and research orthodontist for kids or dentist for kids or braces for kids. And that's literally what I would start off doing. Okay. So you can probably get it done in 5 or 10 minutes. So go ahead and stop what you're doing right now and do that and then type it back in and tell me what you find out if you haven't done it yet. Roger Weaver. Okay, so Roger, you have some more homework to do, buddy. Like, let's figure this out, right? Like, what we're doing, what our strategy is good for is local and something people can come to and take them up for an offer on, right? So you have to figure out what the demand is like. If it's very easy to fulfill the demand that's already out there, you have a downstream, um, you get to enjoy a downstream strategy the whole way. If it's upstream, it's like literally trying to swim up a river. Like the best bet that you can bet on in that scenario, unless you're an Olympic swimmer, is that you at best you could probably keep them at break even, but you're probably going to slip down into the negative ROI zone, right? Like maybe Michael Phelps could incrementally swim against a river, but it's not even worth it at that point when he could be swimming downstream, right? He could be going like exponentially as fast downstream, swimming with the current. So, I mean, he could do some exposure stuff, like just get him if he's been in the news or anything like that. You could promote his posts, boost his content, but that's going to be a tough one because like most of the people don't even know what that is. I don't know what that is. Um, so if you're serving a niche market, they know it. That's a different story. But the lower hanging fruit is stuff that there's already a demand for out there. Does that make sense, Roger? So Steve Oaks says 15K on the low end. Yeah. So um, yeah. So you get the idea there, Steve. And okay, so this is a good point. Steve's saying that the only gyms in his area go above a certain dollar amount per month. And Steve, there's this beautiful thing called the telephone and the internet. You don't have to serve people that are just in your area, right? So I, you don't even have to pick gyms. Are there dentists in your area? Chiropractors? Plastic surgeons? I mean, all this stuff is kind of the same. Um, but there's no reason why you can't dominate the Miami market from Potomac, right? Um, you know what I mean? Like most of the stuff that we do is virtual now. It's not in office. Like I don't have clients visiting me, that's for sure. I hate that shit. And I don't go to them very often. I might do it every once in a while, but not like I don't do it every month, that's for sure. Right? So guys, you just got to change your mindset a little bit. Open up the gates. There's Zoom, there's GoToMeeting, there's all kinds of tools to make it easy. There's the telephone, the good old telephone, right? I'm just saying, like, guys, we're only limited by our beliefs. You know how many gyms there are in the U.S.? It's an $80 billion industry. There's hundreds of thousands of gyms, and there's honeypots of gyms in areas like coastal metro areas, like Miami, San Diego, L.A. Um, there's a bunch of them. You guys just got to look them up. Top cities by fitness, by population. Google it, right? So And Ashmore says, I had braces 4 times. Oh, sweet girl, I feel your pain. Um, so Steve says, I know your core focus is Hoga, health, yoga, and membership offers. Just having trouble landing those there. Probably, yeah, you probably need to reach outside your local geography, right? That's just a mindset thing, man. Um, so Steven has another good question. How do you explain the difference between boosting a post and doing a Facebook ad? You just show them, Steven. That's what the whole demo part is about. So they think they're doing Facebook, right? Like, oh, we do Facebook. You're like, okay, we'll just show up to the demo. I'm going to show you what's working right now. All right. Then they get on and they see an ad and they're like, oh, I'm definitely not doing an ad. Not paying for traffic. Not creating an ad that looks like that. Not forcing my way into someone's newsfeed like that. Right? So you're right away, you're different. And you show them a landing page. Nope, not doing a landing page either. Definitely just expecting them to freaking waltz in through the front door from my organic Facebook post that nobody sees. Right? Does that make sense? You show them the demo and you take them through every step, and even though it's only a few steps, they're not doing those steps. It makes all the difference. You're going inch wide, mile deep. They're like shooting BB guns against a brick wall. It's like not effective. They need to understand that. And the fastest way to do that is get them to the demo without explaining much and show it to them. Yeah, so Steve Oakes, if you have good success face to face, that transitions really well to over the phone with like an online demo using Zoom or go to meeting, right? So you could crush it there. It's just a mindset thing, man. Right? I used to be afraid to not do it because like I used to want to be everybody's friend when I sold, and then when I stopped being people's friend, and I just showed them, sort of the way. It's like, if you want these kinds of results and you want help with it, then we could be a good fit, which is exactly what I teach you guys. My conversion started skyrocketing, and my clients love me. Not like, hey, I know Rob, like everything about him, he's my friend. They love me because I'm serving a purpose in their life and in their business, right? Or they love us, my team. But when I first started, it was just me. Like I would just be like, guys, listen, I'm not here to be your friend. This is the tone of the conversation. Is I'm not here to be your friend. I'm just here to show you something that's working out there in the marketplace. This is something I've observed and tested, and I've used it with a bunch of my clients, and we have data to back it up. And so, the reason why you're on the phone with me today is so I can show that to you. And I respect your time, so I'm not going to chit chat about Patriots winning the Super Bowl or the next, World Series or politics or the weather or any of that stuff. I'm just here to help you improve your business. And if it's a good fit to talk about us helping you at the end, that's cool. That's a bonus. But I agreed to help you first. So I'm going to fulfill that agreement before we talk about anything else. Right? In 15 minutes, I'm going to show you something that's working out there that could dramatically help your business grow this month. You guys see the difference there? So like 60 seconds of chit chat is fine, but the reason why the person is on the phone with you is to be helped by you. That's your role and that's their role. Like you guys are there for two different things, right? Meaning you're there because you want to show them an opportunity, right? And if you're doing it right, you should be detached from the yes or the no at the end. You should just be showing them the opportunity, and if they self-select to opt in for it, that's fantastic. But you've got 3 or 4 calls lined up behind that, and there's probably someone behind them that's going to say yes. So you're good with a no. So I'm going to go slow on that stuff because this is really important, guys. The reason why they're there is because they're exploring options, right? They've got a lot of options in front of them. They've got Yelp, Yellow Pages, Google, direct mail, whatever their employee fucking said they should do. I mean, I don't know. You wouldn't believe me, the stuff I've heard. My CPA said we should be blogging. Great. Does your CPA blog? Has his business blown up because he's blogging? No. Okay. Well, then what the hell does he know about that? We read an article online. Okay, how's that working out for him? How's that working out for you? Right? I mean, guys, like they're there because they're exploring options. So what you have to do is show them something of value first, differentiate yourself by showing them the funnel that they think is Facebook. That's not. It's like you're not doing lead generation on Facebook. You're just posting, hoping, and praying, right? And I don't say that, but I help them arrive at that conclusion on their own, right? By saying, here's the ad that we create. It's a direct response ad. Do you guys do direct response? Oh yeah, we post that kind of stuff on our Facebook page all the time. Great. And who is that? Who is seeing that ad that you post? Well, people who like our page, of course. And we have 2,000 likes. Okay, cool. That's good. So 2,000 likes. How many customers have you had in the lifetime of your business? Oh, like at least 35,000. Cool. So 2,000 out of what you're telling me is 2,000 out of your 35,000 customers in the history of your business like your page, and you posted an ad, and a fraction of those 2,000 saw it. Right? And then silence. Yep. Okay, cool. So let me ask you another question. Why on earth would you offer a new customer ad to a fraction of the 2,000 people that already know about your business right now? Oh, we got 2 shares. Oh, 2 shares? Okay, good. Cool. Well, what if I told you that I could get you in front of 10,000, 20,000, or 30,000 people that don't know about your business, who are hungry for the service that you offer for a low amount of money, and we could do that and get you leads at about $5 per lead? What would you say to that? Oh, you mean, what do you mean? Like, oh, like a lead. Like a lead. Somebody who raised their hand, punched in their information, says, I want you to contact me about coming in and trying your service. Oh, we would love that. We're not doing that yet. We're definitely not doing that. Right? Okay, cool. Well, that's what this is. See the screen right here where I'm showing you this ad? Where this shows up in people's newsfeed that don't already know about you. So these are new people that don't know about how great your product or service is, but who are highly likely to take you up on the offer that you put out there. Do you see the difference there? You go, oh, okay. So what you're saying is I'm posting to people that already know about our stuff, so they probably won't sign up for it. And I go, well, they aren't. You just told me they aren't signing up for it. Right? Do you know of anybody who's taken up an offer on your page? No. Can you track that? No. Right? So then like guys, this is an important part of our job is they have to understand this, to understand that you are like doing lead generation, not Facebook marketing or social media, right? So I'm going pretty deep with this one, but this is what they have to understand before I move on. They go, well, look, this is the ad that we run to new people so that they can come into your lead sheet, and they're raising their hand saying, I want to take you up on that offer that you just put out there because I've been thinking about getting a massage. I've been thinking about getting my teeth cleaned. I've been thinking about joining a gym, but I just keep putting it off. But you guys made me such a compelling offer. I'm willing to come down and try it. Right? So if you could buy $5 leads or saying that, how many of those would you want every month? Like, I don't know, like 20, 25, 100. It's like, okay, well, let's take it even a step further. If I could give you $100 bill and you give me back $10, would you take that deal? Right? If I could give you $100 bill and you give me back a 10, would you take that deal? And they go, oh yeah, of course, it's a no-brainer. And you're like, well, that's what we're doing here is we're literally buying leads. We're paying Facebook to push into to new people's newsfeed that don't know about you already. And what we're going to do is every time we get a click, not everybody signs up to become a lead, right? But like 20% of them do. So we're getting clicks on average for about $1 per click, which means it only takes 4 or 5 clicks to get an actual lead. And when you get an actual lead, about 10% of those people end up converting into actual like paying customers or members, right? So if you do the math real quick on that, if you spend $500 in ad spend, right, that gets you 100 leads. And if you get 10 new customers or members, that means how much to your business? How much do 10 customers equal to your business in a month, right? So this is the conversation that we have to have, guys. Like, so does that make sense? So when we're discussing this stuff, how do we separate it? Like, you guys have to understand that they don't know this stuff most of the time. They are just like they're hungry for the right information, and there's so much crap information out there. That is our job, is to figure out what their level of understanding of this is. And like, if Betsy's on the call today, um, Betsy's heard me go on a sales call, and she's like, "That was crazy basic," and it was. But I had to explain to her afterwards once. It's like, I could not move on until they understood this concept. If they could not understand this concept, I had to go. Like, we had to end the call, right? So does that help, guys? Because I've got that question actually a lot from the community. So this is a good one to stop on and really nail, right? So nobody apologize. Right? So guys, this is the stuff. This is where the money's made, because you might have a great client. Like, the clients don't understand this shit at a very like basic level. So you might have a client who's very well qualified. They want to do this with you if they understand it, but they're making assumptions that you and I have already figured out, such as, I'm already doing Facebook. Thanks, but we're good. It doesn't work. Well, they don't know that you're using Facebook like this. They don't know that it's lead generation. They don't know that it's paid with a direct response, right? Right? So guys, one sec. Let me do this. Type in your questions. I have to run to the restroom real quick. I just had lunch right before this, a late lunch. So type in as many questions as you can. Try to absorb that real quick. And then when I get back, we'll hit the next questions, and I got a couple things to talk with you guys about, okay? So I'll be right back. Okay, cool, I'm back. So let me move this little slide deck over real quick. And we'll finish up on the questions, and then what we'll do is we'll move into a couple of announcements, okay? And let's see. So Greg S. reported back. Well done, Greg. Regarding braces, Groupon has 50% off Invisalign full treatment with consultation. Saw that was pretty straightforward. I saw a funnel that used educational PDF download and then long-term follow-up. No, I don't have any personal experience there, Greg, but dude, just do the research. I mean, if you look in several big markets, right? Like, go to the ones that have a lot of volume, because what will happen is you'll see several different offers and you'll get to see which ones do the best. So whichever offer does the best usually has well over 1,000 units sold. Like that's where they stop counting and just says over 1,000 in Groupon. We'll see what works there, and then look in a couple of other markets, and then look in Google. It's all in the training, man. If you go back and look at the videos, if you look through Google a few pages deep for a few key terms, and you search on the websites for the like introductory special for the offer that you think you want to run, meaning child braces or child Invisalign or orthodontics for children, things like that. You'll find it, and then Groupon in several big markets. That's the way you find that, right? Jamil says, love it, Rob. Thanks, Jamil. Jamil says, how do we attract high value customers for our clients and not the Groupon price shoppers? Well, that's easy. I mean, Facebook goers are typically just what you described. They're high value customers and not the Groupon price shoppers. That's mostly who's on Facebook, period. So if you're running Facebook ads, should be able to get around that. Jamil, type in. We got on that one-on-one and got pretty deep. So tell me what your stats are like and what the problem is, and I can help you further. But they're on group. Groupon is a marketplace for deals. So there's people that just sit there and just buy cheap shit all the time and are avoiding paying full price for anything because they're in a marketplace surrounded by other competitors and other offers. So they get an email inbox full of options about what the cheapest thing is to get every day. So it like brainwashes them into thinking that way. Facebook is like they're looking at stuff they want to look at, and then you're introducing your offer into the newsfeed, and they might not see something. Like, guys, I've never gotten an ad from a dentist, and I live in a really nice area, and I'm married, and I have kids, and Facebook knows that. I've never got served a dentist ad. It's unbelievable to me. Like, we still drive to Carlsbad, which is almost an hour north of us, because our friends own a dentistry practice up there, because I've never found a better option here, and I'm busy. Those are the only two reasons. I'm sure there's someone within walking distance from my house that can serve me better. I just don't know about them yet. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? So you got to flip your thinking about it. You got to just say, and if you're thinking about attracting Groupon price shoppers, if you're like worried about that, your copy and the things you say and the offer that you make are going to reflect that. If you avoid trigger words and if you thinking about an offer that has value but doesn't sound desperate either, right? So desperate sounds like get a free adjustment, plus a free x-ray, plus a free exam, plus a free nutrition counseling, plus a $7,000 package from our front desk person who knows nothing about nutrition, chiropractic, or adjusting, all for $7. That sounds desperate as fuck, right? If you guys are like, this is a good value and I know this market well enough to know that you probably want this anyway, well, come on in. We'll roll the red carpet out for you. We'll treat you like you want to be treated, and we're happy to earn your business. Here's an offer just to make it a no-brainer for you. See the difference there? You guys understand the subtleties, the difference between those? Like, have you ever read a bad ad and you're just like, holy God, what in the hell were you thinking when someone wrote that bus ad or that bus bench ad, right? Attorneys are the worst at this. Or real estate agents. Attorneys and real estate agents make the worst ads, right? You guys experienced that before? Chet says, are you broadcasting from your new office? Yes, I am, Chet. My office is actually having a grand opening party tomorrow night. And so we'll be here. I'll try to shoot, maybe I'll shoot a little bit of a live video if you guys have interest. If not, it's fine. It's not, I'm much more concerned with serving you guys than I am showing off the office, but it is pretty cool. If you guys are interested in checking it out, I'm happy to share. Greg says, got it. Thanks. You got it, man. Tell me how it goes. Cody says, any tips on making the leads more responsive for my clients and easier to contact? Send them an automatic email asking them to call to redeem their coupon. Anything else? Yeah. So you should send that one email for sure, Cody. Are you sending that now? Um, that's definitely in the training. If you need help with that, let me know. And then follow up to that, Cody said, do you coach your clients on how to follow up with their leads? Yes, absolutely. So what we say is you should be calling these leads within 5 to 15 minutes of when they opt in. And if they need a reminder, we just set up Zapier to send a text message, right? That's the best way. Or Zapier, I mean, you could do a lot with Zapier. You could do whatever you wanted, really. You could use Zapier to send them a phone call if you wanted, or something like CallRail or CallDrip. But most of the clients, a text message to their mobile phone works best because if they're having a problem following up, it's because they're like doing something else when the lead comes in. So they need to have that notification that like, ooh, a new lead came in. So I'm with a patient for the next 5 minutes, but as soon as I'm done with that, I got to run and make sure that guy was followed up with, right? Cody says I tell my clients to call every day for 7 days and also text or email them if they don't answer and be sure to schedule an actual appointment. Don't just say come in anytime. Yeah. So I get asked that all the time, Cody, and there's a couple ways to incentivize them to take action. You can, in the follow up, you can sweeten the deal, right? You can say, great, you signed up for the 10-day free pass, but um, if you come in before, if you come in within 48 hours, we'll give you a free personal training session as well, right? It's just that little added extra thing to get them excited about coming in, right? The business owner should still be following up with them like heck. They should be. I tell them to call, text, and email every day. And you guys might say, "Oh my gosh, I would be so annoyed." But think about it. If someone was going to give you something for free that you found value in, you took the time to opt in, first name, last name, email, phone number, like you wouldn't opt in on Facebook if you didn't want that, would you? Right? So, they're probably just busy. They forgot about it. They're watching the Oscars or the Emmys or God knows what else. I don't watch any of that crap. But, like there's a ton of distractions out there. NFL games, sports games. Um, I mean, you name it. Their inbox is a mess. My inbox is a mess. So don't act like they're sitting back with nothing else to do but give the business owner money. And it's pretentious of your client to think that. They're not thinking about your customer anymore. They're thinking about themselves. Like, oh, that's too much work. It's like, well, that's fine, but the competitor down the street is doing that work. He's winning. You're not. Right? I didn't make it that way. You didn't make it that way. It just is what it is. The market wants what the market wants, right? Like you can bitch about it or you can do something about it. And that's the stance that I take with my clients. I don't say it that harshly, but I'm just giving it to you guys for effect, so it's not boring. But I say, well, what do you think your competitor down the street's doing? Like, yeah, calling them, texting them. Yeah, man. So, what are you going to do about it? You're just going to let them go? You're paying for the traffic, paying for the leads. You're just going to let them go? That easy? No. Okay. Well, what's your front desk girl doing right now? Fucking around on Instagram, filing her nails. It's like, well, maybe you can add a line item to her job description and have her read this script. Here goes. Hey, Joe Bob, I just saw that you opted in for our offer on Facebook, and what I saw was that you signed up for our free 10-day pass offer. What I'm calling to let you know today is that your free 10-day pass starts today. And if for some reason that doesn't work for you, if you'd like for it to start another day, give us a call back at 619-555-5555. I'm also sending you an email and a text message in case that works better for you, just to ensure that you get this message. So let us know. My name is Rob, and we're really happy to have you, Joe Bob. Talk to you later. Bye. You guys see how that works? Versus, I think I'll get to that later if I can get around to it. I think I need to fill out that application form for the new insurance plan that I'm considering getting, but I'm not really concerned with that yet because we're pretty good with the insurance that we have and blah, 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 right? Or this employee's really been up my tree about blah, 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 blah. It's like none of that crap has to do with growing your business, Mr. Business Owner. I'm sorry, but that's the truth, right? So, guys, you have to be able to call them out and not let them off the hook for this stuff because they're looking for someone to give them permission. You can't be that person, though. They're getting it from everywhere else, right? So when you're talking to them, don't let them off the hook. You don't have to be a jerk about it, but just say something to the effect of like, well, look, you know, what's your front desk person doing right now? They'll probably go, oh, nothing. I pay her all this money and or he or she, they don't do anything, right? And it's like, okay, well, here's a simple script they can use. What are they saying to them now? They go, oh, I don't even know. That's what I hear most often is, I don't even know. Okay, well, have you overheard them at all? No. Can you listen to them tomorrow and call me back? Okay. And they call me back. Like she said, okay, when do you want to come in? Well, I'm really busy tomorrow and I have to work. Then I have to pick my kid up from school. Then I have to take him to childcare. And then I was hoping to go do this other thing. I have an errand to run. Then I got to go to the DMV. Okay, well, just let us know when you want to come in. Bye bye. Off the hook. Right? So if that's the standard, like, of course they're not going to get any people coming into their business. Right? Does that sound like she gave much of an effort? Right? So if you guys notice the script that I gave you, I just rattled it off, is not letting them off the hook. It's saying, I'm going to start it today, and if that doesn't work for you, call us back and let us know. So it's black and white, 1 or 0. It's binary, right? So your offer is automatically going to expire unless you call us back and let us know the reason that you should have it done otherwise. We're happy to do that, but you got to call us and let us know, right? So you're already setting the precedence that you give a crap enough to hear back from them, and that there's a timeline to this stuff. There's scarcity, because that's what you set up in the first place, was a scarcity play, right? So, you know, guys, this stuff matters, right? Like you have to be able to, just like, you know, help your clients in a true advisory role, and tell them that they've got an option at every step. You know, it's not the forces out there that are messing with them and their sales. You know, if their sales are sluggish, it's because of them. If you're getting Jamil, if you're getting freebie seekers, it's because you're attracting them for some reason. You got to figure out what it is. You might be using a trigger word that triggers people who are freebie seekers and not high paying clients. You got to figure out what that is, right? So you got to ask your best clients, or your clients' best customers. Excuse me. You have to ask your clients' best customers, or have them ask them, "What do you think about this word? What does it mean to you when you hear this word?" Right? Like deal. What do you think about that? Like maybe a deal in the Jamil, if this is the campaign it's for, Jamil's girlfriend is in the esthetician space. Maybe a deal when somebody is touching your face and spraying steam and like scrubbing chemicals into your face is not the correct connotation. That's how it is with plastic surgeons, right? Nobody wants a deal on a boob job. It just screams it's going to be a terrible outcome, like for the most visible part of a woman's body, you know, potentially. So nobody wants a deal on eyeliner tattoos, right? There's a member in our group who's that's her niche, and you know, because there's a needle right next to your eye. So who would you rather trust, like the local deal provider or the person who's going to get it right the first time and not shove ink into your eye with a needle? You know, So if you're offering a discount, it's because you need to not call it a deal. You need to call it something different because that's a trigger word. Humans are weird, right? Like it's the exact same thing, but it's positioned, phrased, and talked about differently, and that can make all the difference. Does that make sense, guys? Is this helping a little bit? Diane says, "Did you say the most visible part?" I'm on the floor laughing. Well, if you've been to my gym, you might understand why I said that, Diane. But some women choose to make that the most visible and attention-grabbing part of their body. That's my point. I used to have, when I was doing SEO, I had several plastic surgeon clients, and the conversations that we used to have, you would not believe. Most un-PC ever. So that's where that's coming from. It's not me. That's not my take on the marketplace. It's theirs, and they see tons of these kinds of women who get these things done. So we're also in San Diego. You have to take that into account. It's also hot here most of the year. Take that into account. So yeah, take it for what you will. But I think the intention for a lot of those girls is to make it the most visible part of their body. So there you go. Um, so yeah, guys. So think about that. Just think about the customer journey, right? And what their mindset is as they're going through this stuff. And that's what you have to get the client on the same page about, right? So if you're working with the like nip and tuck plastic surgeon in the area, like you got to take that into account when you're doing this stuff. If you're dealing with somebody who's like the complete opposite of the spectrum, like a naturopath or something, you got to put yourself in the shoes for a minute of the consumer and be so much so that you're swaying your client to seeing the truth and the reality that if the ad doesn't resonate with them, meaning the prospect or the potential customer, then it's going to fall flat because the client's inclination is to write the ad or make the offer around what they believe to be true about the market as an expert and as someone who's in that business all day, every day. Right? Your guys' comments are cracking me up. Jamil says, I thought you were talking about the face. Jamil, I was. Let's just make it that I was talking about the face. But does that make sense, guys? So you have to almost sway client-centric, customer-centric heavy to swing it from your client's perspective as the person who's sitting there looking at, as a dentist, you're sitting there looking at people's gums and teeth all day. So eventually that's all they see. When they're talking to somebody, they look straight at their teeth, and they're like noticing tiny imperfections in people's teeth when, like, I'll give you an example. I had a dentist client at our SEO agency, and at some point I was joking, but I said, "Oh, I don't need any help. I got perfect teeth." And he started dying laughing. He started picking apart my teeth that are pretty darn straight for the average person out there. And he's like, "Oh no, your left 5 Excelsior is like not aligned with the N5 Excelsior, and and we can fix that up right now." And I was just like, "Jesus, you guys are vain." And they're like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, if you guys said that crap to me when I came into the office, I'd be like, oh hell no, right? If they talked to me about the things that I wanted to get out of it, I'd be much more compelled to give them my money, get the stuff done to straighten my teeth." Right? You guys understand the difference there? Give me a 1 if you're on yes and a 0 if you're on no. Because it's not that important for me personally to have perfectly straight teeth. They're 99% straight. I would rather dig my eyeball out with a dull spoon than to get braces again. I've already had them twice. So the people who don't think they're straight can like take a hike, right? I'm over it. But if they had said, well, think about it when you're 60, 65, 70, 80 years old. Do you want to, we can prevent further crookeding of your teeth so that when you take pictures with your grandkids, you don't have braces on then, right? I might be compelled to do that now. It could save me money and save me time and still keep my teeth straight through that longevity. That might be compelling to me. I'm just giving you guys an example. I'm not saying that's what the market wants, but that might be compelling to just one guy, Rob Bailey, versus picking me apart about how there's a stupid gap between one of my teeth and the other out of all of them. Like, that's ridiculous to me. Okay, good. So everybody seems like they're getting this. Okay, good, guys. So it doesn't look like there's many questions left. Let me quickly, I don't want to go too long. I want to respect you guys' time. It's 4:16. Let me tell you guys my findings, okay? I have a couple of big announcements to make, my findings, okay? I've spoken with a lot of you over the past 3 months, I guess it's been. So December, January, February, 3 months. And what I want to show you guys real quick is this, is I get tons of questions on the one-on-one Q&A calls, right? I've done one-on-one calls with, I think, like 70 of you at this point, something crazy like that. And a lot of you are asking questions on those calls about how to get the answers to what you need. And a lot of these things exist already, okay? So I just want to do a little bit of review, a little bit of housekeeping. These are the 3 areas where you should look. First one is the membership area. Obviously, I put as much in there as humanly possible to get you the answers that you need. If you can't find stuff there, go to the Facebook group and ask a question. Don't feel like it's a dumb question. I've dedicated 3 out of my 5 team members, including myself, to monitoring that group just to make sure that you guys get timely answers. So don't be ashamed to post something in there if you looked in the training first and you couldn't find it. The third area is now I've added these Q&A calls, okay? And the reason why I have not done those in the past is because I've been doing the one-on-one calls, okay? So that was a huge time dedication. I got great feedback from people. I really, attempted to help each and every one of you when I was on the phone. And so I was very happy to do that. But it's time now that I've gotten through most of that to talk to you guys on the Q&A calls and really start to address some of the higher level stuff, basically is what it's amounting to, right? So on these calls, you guys can bring anything you want of any topic. We'll do them every week on Wednesday. And then obviously you've got the support desk, right? And that's where Jessie is mostly handling the tickets. And if she has questions about anything, she asks me directly. So those are sort of the order that I want you guys to go through just to get your answer as quick as possible. Because if you couldn't tell, these things, like the membership area is 24/7, 365. The Facebook group, you can get an answer within minutes to like a few hours. The Q&A calls are once a week, and then the support ticket you probably get like, within 24 hours. We try to, but no less than like 2 days, 2 business days. So this is listed in the order and the speed that you can get an answer to your question. Does that make sense so far? I know that's a little bit of review for most of you guys, but yes. Yes. Okay, good. Here's the big announcement, guys, is I'm taking all that feedback that you guys gave me on all those calls, and I'm just gonna recreate Rainmaker. And there's nothing for you guys to do. There's no upsell involved. It's 100% completely free. It's gonna be in the same place that you're doing things now. There's nothing to do. But the biggest thing that I've heard from you guys is that you need help in different specific areas. And I don't know if any of you have ever made a course before, but it's quite a challenge trying to meet everybody's needs before you know what their exact needs are. And the things that I think that you need might not be what you actually have issues with. And I think I covered most of it in the initial training, but I've really got a clear idea about what you guys are really getting stuck on, what you need help with, and what can really be done as far as training goes to move your business forward. So I'm going to create new and improved trainings for free. The group access is going to be free. The Q&A calls are going to be free. The support is free. So there's nothing for you guys to do. I'm not sure when I'm going to have this ready. It'll probably take a month or 2, to be honest, to get this stuff ready and really done well and right. But as soon as it's ready, I'll make a couple of announcements about it so you guys know. And you're just going to get a fresh set of videos and trainings that are really going to help you grow your business based on your collective feedback, which is going to be way more powerful. So I think I'll be able to get you guys the results faster than when I did, just guessing sort of at what you needed based on what we we wanted to do. So this is just my way of saying thank you for investing in me early, because as you guys know, this is my first swing at ever creating a training program like this. And teaching it is a different skill set than actually just doing it yourself. So yeah, Anna Ashmore says, wow. Um, so yeah, guys, I don't expect anything in return. I just really want to show my appreciation and say thank you for investing with me early. And I'll probably raise the price after this to like 997 or 1997, something like that. So for the general public. So you guys really got a smoking deal. I just wanted to make sure it was a no-brainer, full packed with value. And you guys helped me sort of jumpstart this whole thing. So it's a good thing that you got in early. So that's that. Any questions about that? Just hit me in the chat box. Jamil says, thank you, Rob. That is super awesome. Thank you for all you do. You got it, buddy. Let's see. Okay, so Anna's giving me feedback. We'll get to that here in a minute, Anna, for sure. With your first one. Anna says, Rob, you've done an excellent job on Team 2. Thank you very much. Greg says, strong, you the man. David says, thank you. Joe says, thank you. You the man. Very cool, thanks. You guys got it. Cody said, if you need a video testimonial to promote your new course, let me know. Yeah, I could definitely use that, Cody, for sure. Lonnie says, your whole team is awesome. Thank you. Jamil says, definitely worth the 2K. Rafael says, good deal and thank you. You got it. Chet says, thanks. Yeah, guys, it's really overwhelming for me at times to think about how much you guys supported me without even knowing really who I was, So I just want to show a little gratitude and keep you guys stoked and just over deliver on value each step, so that when you guys go out there in the marketplace, you don't view it as an expense. It was an investment because you're getting such a good return from it. So that's the goal. We'll get better and better and better at that. And, yeah, good things to come. Just stick around, right? That's all you got to do is stick around. So here's another thing that was interesting. Based on your feedback, sorry, the feedback that I got was incredible. Like, a lot of you asked for extended support. So Anna, this ties into your question. So how do I get somebody to review my campaigns? I got this one a lot, right? On a 15-minute call, it's very difficult to explore a campaign top to bottom and give you real-time feedback and whatnot, because honestly, it takes about an hour to really look at the whole thing from top to bottom. So these are some of the things you guys asked about. Mentorship. I need help growing my business. Like, Rob, I'm not sure what sequence to do things, or what I should be doing right now exactly, or I need accountability. Like, I'm doing too many things at once and I need your help to focus. I need help with mindset so I can grow my business. I've got this problem in my life and it's really like, preventing me from moving forward in my business. I heard all those kinds of things, but they all kind of boil down to mentorship, right? Like, I would love it if you could teach me one-on-one, Rob, right? So to be honest with you guys, I've done that a little bit, right? And I've charged $2,500 to $5,000 a month, depending on the scope. And I've gotten some people to sign up for that. But the problem for me is that I can only help like 2 or 3 of those people per month because it's so time consuming, right? So I'm trying to brainstorm a way that I can serve more of you in a small group setting. That way I can help more of you with the mentorship or growing your business part. Also, a lot of you asked for mindset training. I'm not sure why I'm doing this, like, meaning a bad thing, or I'm not doing X, Y, and Z yet, meaning like a good thing, right? So it's like, these things that you can't quite put your finger on why you're not doing it, because you know the information, you're just not able to do it yet for whatever the reason. And that's a mindset thing, guys. Like, yeah, I don't know if you heard that through today's call, but a lot of mindset stuff I talked about today, right? So that's what that is. Rob, how do I get more advanced funnels, offer strategies to use with Facebook ads for local? So things like this, I'll just show you guys one. Right, some of the clients that have hired us for one-on-one are asking for sort of a campaign in a box, right? So they're like, oh, I just need the Facebook ad campaign, the CTA, our exact formula for the copy image CTA button, the landing page, the thank you page, the MailChimp automation, the Zapier notifications, the Google Sheet. Like they just want everything so they can plug it in without having to change much at all. And also the instructions on how to preview it to a client. A lot of you asked for that, right? So we prepared that for a handful of our one-on-one students so far. And this is like if someone says, oh, I need a physical therapy, you know, lead generation campaign. Do you have that, right? I think Christian asked for that, and I think Anna, I think you asked for one of those, right? So we want to put more stuff like this together for you guys. Okay, we just have to put it together. So this is the type of things we're being asked to do. Like as an extension or added layer of support for you guys to help you grow your business more and more. I've kept the lanes pretty strict with Rainmaker because, to be honest, the value that you guys are getting for the amount that you paid is just so insane. Like we have to be careful about which, we can't open Pandora's box to a few of you and not to the others. It's not fair. And if we open it up to all of you, then it becomes a full-time job for us, and that's sort of a slippery slope, right? So here's the deal, guys. This is my option. I want for this to be an open conversation. Nothing's been decided yet, right? So what I want for you guys to do is to give me some feedback if you can. And you don't have to do it today, but I'm looking for feedback from our community, our Rainmaker community, on what you'd like to see if I put together a private community, meaning like advanced help, advanced mentorship, advanced support, something beyond just what the core training of the course might look like. And these are just some of the things I thought we could put into it. More campaigns in a box, right? So I'm looking for feedback from you guys now and in the coming days and weeks to put this together for you, because I would say 50% of the people that I got on the phone with said, I would like more help with this stuff. Whatever you put out, I'll buy. So now it's time to basically ask you guys what you want to see and something like that, and we'll go back to the drawing board and put it together for you guys. Formalize it so it's structured and organized and it's easy for you guys, and then we'll make an offer. And if you guys want it, that's cool. And if not, no worries, right? It's no big deal. But we're at that point now. Like I took my time with it because we weren't ready when I first launched this thing, but now we are, So we can definitely over deliver for you guys, and I feel comfortable offering that. Landing pages, thank you. Like if you guys, I got a lot of questions in the chat box about specific industries today, right? And I can't even get to them all, guys. It would take me forever. So there's one about who asked that? I think Jamil maybe asked about another one. So anyway, but that the whole point is like, guys, I'm totally like happy to put this together for you guys and make it really like a no-brainer, and put together a couple of cool extra things if you guys feel like that's a thing, a thing that you want to do, because again, it's about making you successful with this and making it a no-brainer, like so that each month you're progressing your business. And no matter what your goal is, like if it's to quit your job or to grow your agency or to scale your agency down like I did, the goal of it should be to help in all of those areas so that you can take this information, go out and make money right now and build a nice little business for yourself. Let's see. All right, Diane's asking for a 5-person group buy for ClickFunnels. Yeah, Dan, you probably have to put that together on your own if you're going to do it. I can't be caught doing that kind of stuff, but I can't prevent you from doing it on your own either. So if you want to put that together, go ahead and find some other folks to partner with on that thing. That's cool, but I can't formally put that together. I could get in trouble for that big time. That Joe Rizzo guy would probably work with you. Joe Rizzo, dude. Guys, Joe Rizzo is a bad man. This guy, yeah. So Joe, let's talk, man. We'll figure that out, how we can make it work. Guys, there's some heavy hitters in our group. They're not as vocal as some of the others, but We got a great group going. I'm not gonna lie. Lonnie says maybe we could do a couple sample campaigns each week on the Q&A calls as a learning tool. Yeah, I was thinking actually weekly live calls. This is what I was thinking. Tell me what you guys think of this. Weekly live campaign review calls, weekly live Q&A calls. In addition to this one, right? So this would be a little bit of a more advanced call. Yeah, so Jamil, okay, cool. That's good to know. Appreciate that, man. Diane says, sorry, didn't think you read that out. Diane, I'm super transparent. I hope you, I mean, based on the comment I made earlier, I'm sure you can tell that by now. Guys, don't type anything into this box that you don't want to see said, that you don't want to see said, that you don't want me to say live on the call, because I just read them. I don't filter like a lot of these other guru dudes. I'm just like, hey, you want to say this? It's all good, but don't say sorry. It's fine. I mean, you don't even need that level of quick follows anyway. I mean, just get their basic one. It's fine. You're good. Okay, cool. And let me just reiterate this to you guys too. Our team is constantly testing things, so we'll test results